This is a video on how to install the live streaming camera system. When you first unpackage your box, you want to look for two things. You want to look for the GPS cradle and then the main unit itself. First, decide how this is going to be installed on your windshield. Is this cable going to go up or is it going to go down? What you want to do is look at the picture on the bracket itself right in here. There's a picture of a bus. If your windshield is up and down like 9 degrees, you want this going up. If your windshield on your car is 45 degrees, you will want this cable going down. For this purpose, we're going to install it up this way. What you want to do is install this camera right onto the bracket and push it down. It should lock down, just like that. The next step is removing this tape right here. This is the sticky tape. Make sure you clean your windshield well. Usually you would want to install this right underneath your rear view mirror. So wipe this down with alcohol pad, wipe it nice and clean, and then what you want to do is position this where you want it to be. This particular lens right here is going to record the inside. When I say the inside, I mean the driver and the passenger, and this is going to be rotated towards the front where it's going to record the street view. Once you find the position that you like underneath your rearview mirror, just go ahead and stick it, mount it onto the windshield. So it's going to look like this. This facing the inside, driver, this rotated out to the street. We will adjust this later. And then this cable is your GPS cable. Make sure you plug into the GPS port. Push it all the way in, make sure it clicks in. The next thing you want to do is go ahead and install your dongle. It looks like this with the USB cable and the white dongle at the end of it. Just install it onto the top right hand side closest to the driver. This is basically your internet device. The next thing you want to do is install the power cable. Let me show you how the cable looks like. This is your power cable right here. This end is going to go into the DC in port like this. Plug it in there and make sure it clicks all the way in. And then the other end, there's 3 cables. Black is for ground, white is for ignition, anything that goes off and on with the ignition, like your radio. This is hot, a cable that's on all the time. So what you want to do is kind of untie your cable, wrap this around here, and then run this cable all the way down to your dashboard and wire this to the cable that it needs to go into. For instance, I've already done it, and this is the power cable right here, and it's already been wired in. I'll plug this in towards the end. The next thing you want to do is install your key lock bracket. If you have this temper bracket without the key, go ahead and power it on, plug it in, and then what you're going to do is power this up. Ignore these devices. This is going to be another setup. I'll show you after we install the camera.
Drive recorder is now active.
What you're going to look for are these 3 lights. Green means recording, that the camera is on and it's recording everything into your memory card in here. GPS is going to be trying to connect to the satellite above you for GPS positioning. You want to look at this light right here. You should get a blinking blue light, and then you'll get a solid blue light right here. This one means it's connected to our network, and you should be able to log into your account and watch it or live stream it. It is very important to calibrate your camera at this moment. Make sure you park your vehicle on a level surface, turn your engine on. The lights on the camera should be solid. Your next step is go ahead and press the triangle button in the middle of the camera. Press it and hold it for about 5 seconds until the light starts blinking in a circular motion clockwise. You can go ahead and let go of the button. The camera will start calibrating automatically. and it will stop. Your calibration is complete. If you have this bracket, you would probably have a 2 feet cable, USB cable. You want to mount this, run this all the way on the top of your roof and hide it underneath your roof. Don't put it on your windshield where the light can damage it and shine on it. Run this all the way up your windshield to your roof and then hide it underneath there. You install this, there's 2 teeth right here, if you can see. You want this 2 teeth to hook up right on top of the camera, and then push it down and click it in. Push it up a little bit, rotate to the position of the 2 lenses that you want, lock it down so it bites onto the lens to prevent it from moving around. And then what you want to do next is, there's a screw that's inside this packet. You want to take that screw, put it in there, use this L-shaped wrench to tighten it, and that's your security screw. The other bracket you may have is the upgraded version. I'm going to remove this and install the upgraded version for you. It looks something like this, and it has these keys that come in with it. I'm going to show you how to install this into this. First, remove your key from the bag, and there's also a screw in there. Make sure you save that. There's an extra screw in there. You're going to need this. What you want to do is unlock this thing by inserting it and turning it clockwise, and then you'll be able to remove this plate in the back. Push it down and then out. This is the plate that you're going to install onto the camera first. And to do that, simply just there's 2 teeth on the top, hook it to the top of the camera. That's it. That extra screw that I mentioned before, go ahead and screw that in to this hole right below the triangle. Tight enough where it stays, but not too tight where you're going to strip it. The next step is installing the main bracket itself, the key lock bracket. What you want to do is put this into the top of the cover, just like that, and push it in. This will protect the device from being tampered with. What you want to do next is go ahead and make sure the light shows there so you can see the status of the dongle. Hook it on the top, push it in, and before you push it down to lock, adjust your lens the way you want it, lock it down, that way now it's in position, and then you use your key to lock it by going up. And that's how you install the camera. I'm going to show you how to install additional camera and splitter to this camera system. To unlock it, just simply put your key in, turn it clockwise, pop the 2 side out, and pushes up. You're going to remove the dongle. Let's remove the cover. I'm going to put this right here for now. If you have one of these external camera and you're only using one, not 2, not 3 or 4, you can plug one of these camera directly in onto the top of the camera system. This is one of the external camera, and it comes with additional cabling. Use what's needed. There's an extension right in the middle, and then there's one that looks like this. It has something that looks like a phone jack that you can directly plug into the camera where it says camera in. So just plug it in there, connect the 2 cables together, and this will power the camera itself. There's no need to run power to it. This is just if you want a trigger for a reverse signal to turn on a monitor when you're reversing. We will do another video for this later. But what if you want to install more than one of these? If you wanted 2, 3 or 4 of these onto this, you would need a splitter, and this is where the splitter will come in. You can't plug all 4 of this into one hole. You would plug all 4 of this into this splitter, and this splitter would plug into this camera, and I'll show you how to do that. Let's finish the installation before we power everything. So make sure there's no power to it.
System has shut down.
Find a position that where you want to mount this splitter to inside your vehicle. I would recommend mounting this back plate close to your fuse box on your vehicle. And looking at these, there's a power cable port, there's a MUX cable, and then there's 4 cameras that you can plug into. And I'll show you how to get started and install this. Put this by your fuse box or anywhere underneath your dashboard or what is convenient. And there's 2 screws here. It'll come with a pack of screws. 4 of these. You can screw there, 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 and there to bolt it down. These 2 smaller screws will be used up here later after we install this. What you want to do is unpack your camera, your external camera, and then at the end of it you're going to have 4 of these jacks. You're going to plug it into 1, 2, 3, 4 of these holes. Just like that. So if this is camera 1 plugged into port 1, when you watch the video, this will show up in window 1, window 2, window 3, window 4. The next step is to wire your power cable. The very last step is plugging this in. So make sure that your engine is off, make sure that the car is off, power this, run the power cable. Same thing, this power cable looks like this. Make sure the black is ground, the white is ignition, the red is hot all the time. And then plug this into DC in port. And that's how it looks like. And what you're going to do is leave your engine off, power this on, plug the cables in. Very last thing you want to do is plug this yellow MUX cable in. And the MUX cable will go next to the power cable here. And then the other end goes where it says camera in. So I'll plug that in there. And once you have this installed, before you screw this on, I recommend powering everything up and make sure it works first. So once I installed all this in, install the yellow MUX cable last, and then turn your engine on. And this is what you should see. It should start powering up. This should start powering up. That should start powering up. And then all your lights should start coming on if you have this particular model. What you're going to see is solid green, GPS light comes on, and then the solid blue light on the bottom.
Drive recorder is now active.
Once that's good, what you want to do is use these 2 screws to put it in here to lock this into place. Make sure all these cables are pushed all the way down. If not, then you might see blurriness on your live streaming videos. So make sure all these jacks are plugged in all the way. Once you get that 3 light, you're good. Last step is go ahead and install your dongle into your key lock bracket. Position your camera. Lock this in. Push it up a little bit, adjust your lens. This lens again goes inside, recording the driver. It has 4 LED lights on it. The other one doesn't. This one should, with the green light right there, should be face out to the street. Once you find a good position for it, press this down to lock it into position. There's 2 teeth here that'll bite into this lens to keep it in position. And then the last thing is lock your cover to prevent drivers from tampering with your camera. Thank you for watching.